Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are looking at BeatHawk and we're going to do a full tutorial. So for this really is aimed at beginners, but hopefully some of you may find some of it interesting or useful, or maybe bits and pieces you didn't know. So when I mean a full tutorial, that's exactly what I mean. A full tutorial. I'm going to show you everything you need to know. Okay, so we're going to first of all hit this little song icon and go back to our main page. And then we're going to tap on our little toaster here, the little hamburger. And we're going to go new project. And we're just going to go, yes, unsaved changes, everything's saved. So we're absolutely fine. New project. And now we're down to a completely blank project where we can start adding our stuff. Okay, so things to know. Okay, so on each pad, you can have a different sound or a different instrument or a different set of sounds on each pad, as you will see in a sec. And then we have a volume, which is the volume for each pad. Then we have pitch, which turns the particular pad you've selected into a keyboard instrument. Then we can have mute, where we can select the mute pads. Then we have an erase. Now you'll see it goes on and off, but so to erase an instrument or a pad, you basically hold that and do this. We'll have a look at all this. But let's go back to pad. First place we want to go to load some sounds in is browser. Okay, so on pattern, browser isn't there. This is where you arrange your patterns. On track is where you want to be to load a sound. So we're going to go browser, and this takes us to the browser. Now you'll see it says user library there. We don't want that at the moment. What we want to do now is find some stuff to put in. Now, if you buy BeatHawk, it's $9.99. BeatHawk is an UVI in itself also, as well as a DAW. So we're going to start with acoustic drums, and there are lots of extra IAPs, but it comes with an EDM and an urban pack. The rest of them, yeah, that you have to buy, but you don't have to buy them all, obviously. Just buy the ones you want, or none at all. Acoustic drums, drum elements, and then you'll see you've got like something for bass drum here, so you could choose a bass drum, and you've got some. I'm going to go to drum kits, okay, and where it says acoustic drums, I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to load it onto this. Now you'll see that these pads here, these represent the pads on the main screen. Once you've selected something, I'm selecting acoustic drums because there are many samples just in this one pack. So I'm just going to hit load, and it loads that acoustic drum kit onto this. Then we can go, it says it's told us it's loaded, then we'll just need to exit it, and it's there. Now what happens if we go to pitch? We have the drums now mapped to the pitch. So I've got my MIDI keyboard. Fine, that's what I'm going to do. Now the next thing I want to do is how long do I want this first pattern to go on for? Okay, so let's go with pattern, and then pattern length is what we want to be looking at. So we can go up to 16. We don't want to go that far. We'll stick with 4. So this first pattern here is going to be 4 bars long. I've got quantize switched on. 1/16 is absolutely fine for me. The groove 50%, that's fine. That's about central off swing, so there's no swing there applied. Okay. You have tap tempo. Then you have also, you can drag up and down and change the tempo. You have choke groups. They work like choke groups in anything. If you assign 2 different things to the same choke group, each one will mute the next one as it plays, sort of thing. You have a gain for each like kind of pad. This is, you see, it's the same. The gain for the pad, the entire mix, a pan, a pitch, a high pass filter, low pass filter, some reverb and some delay. Okay, so let's go back to our pitch. And we're going to record some drums in. So it was going to give us a count in. You can set all this up in like preferences here. If you go to preferences, You can see what's going on. You have Ableton Link, you have all sorts of stuff for velocity, duplicate keyboards. Anything that you want to do is set up, and then you have MIDI and stuff like this, and then effects, global. So it is where you do it, but most of this stuff is set up for you, so you don't really need to worry about it. Now I'm using my MIDI keyboard to put this in, but I could. I'm going to do this. So I'm going to hit record, and you'll see it tracks across the top at 4 bars. So I'm just going to hit record. It'll give us a 4-bar count in. Okay, so dead simple. It's already quantized for us. If we want to stop recording, let's just do this, and then we can practice over top. So let's put some hi-hats in, and we can jump in anytime we like or wait till it comes round. And there we have our first little drum beat on our first pattern. Okay, so let's add some bass to that, shall we? Go back to pad here. Now we want to be going to browser, and we want to choose some bass. So let's find some bass. Hang on a sec. I'm going to look for total bass, or something that says bass. There'll be bass in all of these, but I want something that's more like bass. Here we go, total bass. So let's select that pack. Instruments. Let's go with some electric bass, and this is these are samples. So I'm going to go with this Ampeg, and I'm going to select my next pad here, and I'm just going to load that in and then exit, and there it is. Let's go to pitch. So I'm pitching it down on my keyboard. Now what you'll find is the sounds in BeatHawk are exceptional. I mean, they're just really, really, very, very good. So I'm going to play this over this, and I think, let me have a play, I'll jam along. So if I press play, okay, that's cool. I think I'm going to slow the tempo down so we can, like, I'm feeling more of dun 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 dun, so more of a 115 vibe, I think. So I don't want to make the track too complicated or too long, because there's a lot to get through when it comes to showing you how it all works. Well, we'll just quickly record that bass line in. Now, we don't need to, because we're recording on our same pattern, we don't need to adjust the length anymore. It's just going to be set at 4 bars for now. And again, if we make sure we're back at the beginning, we press this, we're going to get a count in. Cool. And then we can mix that bass down a bit if we want. We can also select the next one we can also select the next one on the browser list from here, I think. Yep, so that's just going forward. So let's exit this and see what that one sounds like. That's quite nice. I enjoy that sounds all right for a bass. All right, now what we're going to do is that will be our first pattern. So we're going to go to pattern and we're going to make sure the pattern is selected. We're just going to tap copy. Then we're going to select the next pattern. We can select any pattern, by the way, but we'll select the next one and go paste. And that's pasted an exact duplicate of that pattern into pattern number 2. So now we've got 2 patterns we can play with. So let's go back to our track view now. Let's go to browser. Let's add some, let's see, maybe some, let's add a little bit of piano. So we'll go with electric piano, instrument, piano. We'll just stick with this, but you know, you can choose any of them, but we'll stick with this basic electric piano here. Select our next pad and hit load and then exit and go to our pad, go to pitch. We record some piano in. Now, before I go any further, right, if you're in, let me see, if you're in pattern mode, you'll see it says step editor. And that means you don't have to play them in via the keyboard. You don't have to play them in via this. You can go to the step editor. But before we go to the step editor, I want to record this piano in, and then because it gives us something more to see. Because there are a couple of strange things about the step editor, but you know, nothing like totally weird. So anyway, so select pitch, and let's just have a jam, see what happens. So I just need to. So cool. Now we want to record that, okay? So we need to always make sure that the pad you want to record, whether you're playing it like off just one shots like this off this pad, make sure the thing is selected if you're using pitch mode, because otherwise you'll be recording something else in like that. So pitch. Oh, hi Jade. Like pitch. Okay, so let's just again, let's just give ourselves I'm ready on quantize. You can choose not to quantize or quantize to the, you know, whatever you like. You have a quantized grid here. You can select from different quantizers like 1/2 inch dot, 1/4 dot, 8, the usual vibe. I'm going to stick just with straightforward 1/16. I'm going to hit record and then just play this basic Rhodes in. So. So now we have 2 patterns. Let's copy that pattern again. So copy, go to our next pattern, paste, and now we've got a copy of it in 3. And since pattern 3 is the one that's highlighted, that's the one that will play. But we can do this. If we wait till the last bar, right, we can hit another pattern anytime we like, and it'll change at that next bar. So watch this. I'll hit it here. But if you change it here, it'll change at the next available bar. And you can actually see because a little highlight comes up of where it's going to change. So we've got this. We'll add something more to this, and then we'll go into the step editor and have a look at that. So again, what we want to do is we're going to go back to our track view. We want to go to browser. And this time, let's choose some kind of synth lead, maybe, or I mean, there's so much stuff in here. Oh, yeah, no, since we're in an acoustic vibe, let's do the B3. Okay, so B3 organ. So that's nice, like it. Next pad. All we need to do is load. Oh, you can play the patterns, by the way. So while you're looking for the sound, like. That's how cool it is. So that's really great. Select our next pad, load, exit. Now I will say in BeatHawk there are tons of loops and stuff like that, all sorts of cool stuff you can use. Principles for doing this are the same. Too loud. Too low. Mod wheel controls the, oh, hang on, got a spinning thing going on here. We got a buffer it. Oh no, we're back. It's very, very nice. The samples are brilliant. So there we go. Right. So we're going to record some, I don't know, some nonsense over the top of that. So let's stop and. Right now you've got, like I said, you've got your you've got low pass filters, a bit of reverb, stuff like that. That's got some reverb on it anyway, so we don't need to worry about that. Let's go to pattern now. So we've got 3 patterns, and if we go to our pads, we've got 4 pads. So we've got 4 instruments, right? We've got our drums, we've got our bass, we've got an electric piano, and then we've also got a bluesy, crunchy type of organ kind of thing. Then we have 3 patterns. So the first pattern is doing this. Second pattern is doing this. Fourth pattern this. If we go into step editor, right, for any of the patterns, but we can do this, we can access this from inside the step editor as well. If you want to edit MIDI, so you go into the step editor, it looks busy because what you're seeing is all of the tracks, right? All of them. So we can play. You can mute any of the tracks. So let's play. We've muted the drums and the organ, right? Cool. And you can also see a little representation of where that particular instrument is on which pad. So you know that the first one is the drums. We know this is the organ. You can go in here and choose any of the patterns to play. Okay. And then you can copy and paste them as well, or delete them. We don't want to be deleting them. Or if you go into keyboard mode here, this gives you the MIDI data. Like for each. So this is the MIDI data for the drums. Okay. So if we go back to our thing and if we mute the other instruments and we go back into our MIDI for the drums, it'll make sense. So. And because of the velocity sensitivity, it's extremely. It is its own door, and it's also a UV3. It works like a door within a door. Here's the usual stuff. You can select notes here by choosing select. You've got it's the usual stuff. I never ever use it, but you've got a 60. You can change the snap as well. But I've got this quantized, so it's snapping nicely. It's 16ths, as we saw by the quantize in the thing. But that's how you see your. Let's unmute the others. This is how you see what's going on in the MIDI data for each of those instruments. And you've got solo as well and mute when you go further in. So on the organ, let's go and have a look at that. Go and have a look at the data for that. There's the organ data that I just recorded in as well. So you've got the full MIDI, experience as well if you want to go into the step editor and everything, right? So what we can do now we don't have to keep copy and duplicating, copy and pasting. What I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to copy pattern 1. I'm going to paste it into pattern 4, right? So now we've got a copy of pattern 1 and copy in pattern 4, but I'm going to add some more percussion. Okay, so we're going to go to our pads. We're already there. We're going to go to track. We're going to go to our browser, and I'm going to, oh, here we go. So let's look around now for just some stuff that might have percussion in it, and there'll be lots and lots and lots of it that has percussion. So we've got world. I'd have to. Oh, world percussion. That's fine. These are the ones I haven't downloaded. But world percussion. So percussion elements. You've got or full percussion kits. So I think I'll go for this Arabian mood. Select the pad that I want to paste this onto. Okay, load, and then exit. And now if I go into pitch, so I can play this kit. But don't forget it comes with a load of IAPs as well. You don't get every single sound included for the $9.99. There are a lot of IAPs. So I'm just going to put some percussion. So we've got this. This was our basic track. Remember, we copied it and it's number 4. So we record some percussion, more percussion. So what we can do now is go back and check our pattern. And again, I'm going to copy this one that's highlighted. I'm going to select this and paste it into number 5. And then we're going to add something else. But this time, we're going to swap it up a little bit. And we're going to add a synth over that percussive section. Okay. Now, bearing in mind, you can go on as adding as much of this percussion as you like. So just, you know, I'm trying to get through this because I want to show you song mode. And I want to show you how to export your song and where it's going to export to, which is also a little bit strange. But once you see it in action, you'll be thinking, well, it's not that hard. It's quite easy. Right. So let's go back to track. Let's go to our browser here. And we can select a new pad just to make sure. This time, let's go and check out, say, we've got mellotrons, we've got dark atmospheres. Let's have a look in here. What's in this? Pads. Or maybe that might not work so well as maybe analog synth poly. Or maybe, acoustic grand. Now the grand is very good in this. So let's load that onto there. Maybe a little bit. Something like that maybe. And then onto this one, I'm going to load a experimental maybe. Yeah, I'm going to load this onto there. So now I've loaded 2, and I've only haven't started recording the MIDI data yet, so we can go back. We can check which pad we want to start, the chime shifter or the acoustic grand. We'll go with the acoustic grand first. Go to pitch. just going to have a play over that like rhythm pattern. I'll record it now. Cool beans. So let's do what we've been doing. Let's take pattern number 5 here, and let's copy that pattern. We'll go to paste, and we'll paste it into here. So pattern number 6 is now pattern number 5, but we want to add that synth to it. So we go back, select our chimey chipper. Make sure you be on pitch. Let's go to, I don't need to do it for each pad. I want to go to pitch, track, and maybe some reverb and delay. Take a little bit of that out. Now you also have an ADSR, and you also you can record in bap bap biddy bap. See, you can record in your own samples, and then you can edit the sample. Again, something I never do, but if you wanted to, yeah, you know. So let's have a play along with that now. Some reverb on that piano. Okay, select the chime chipper, go to pitch. So I'm gonna just record this. So right, now here's the thing. Let's save our project as, and we need to give it a name. We don't want to lose our stuff, so let's call this a tutorial, just for the sake of what we're doing. So we've got save. So this is called tutorial. Now if we close and reopen it, it's all going to be as it was. So that's cool. So if we go to our pattern, so I'm not going to add no more now because we need to get into song mode. So we're going to go to pattern. So here's what we've got. We've got 6 patterns, and if we can play them, and we can change them anytime we like. Okay. So we've got all our patterns recorded. We've made all our adjustments. If you want to erase anything, by the way, like I said, if you want to erase an entire pad, what you basically do is while it's playing, you hold this and then hold the pad, or double tap the pad while you're holding it like this, and it'll ask you, would you like to erase it all, or just the MIDI, or just clear the pad? So it's like keeping the sound as well if you just choose the MIDI. That's something just to know. So like I said, if you want to erase any particular pad, you just hold erase, tap the pad, and it'll give you options. That's just in case you make mistakes and stuff. It's easy to erase data and do it again. Or you can go into your step editor, do exactly the same thing, and erase the information from raw like that. Right, so let's go back there. All right, so now we've done all this, we want to start making our song. Song mode is great inside BeatHawk. We go to song by just tapping it here, okay? And here are patterns represented that we've made. All we need to do to drag them onto the timeline is long hold, drag, and there you go. They're now selected on here. And if we press play now, see? You get a representation of what's actually going on, like from a pad perspective, if you know what I mean. So not the actual pitch perspective, but from the pad perspective. God, it's hard to say all these p's. Right, so you can choose to mute certain things, and there's certain stuff it's difficult to explain, but there's certain things you can do for each sort of pattern. So once you drop something, let's drop number 2, or we could drop number 1 on. So since we're making a song, let's drop number 1 on again. If we select either of these now, we can start to choose what, if we want to mute certain things. Now, we don't really want to do that because we're going to be muting entire kits, but you can, if you want to, choose to mute certain things. Let's just crack on, otherwise we'll be here all night. But you can, whichever you select here or deselect, and you can see this will disappear. So this is track mutes. Okay, so track mutes. Let's move along a little bit and add number 2 here, and move along and add number 3, and we could add another number 3. That's 5, a 5/4. I should have done a 7, shouldn't I? Some of you might not get that. Anyway, joked it. A 4, a 4, a 4/3, a 5, a 6, a 3, and a 1. Right, okay. So we've created a little song, and we can play our song just by pressing play. So I don't know how it sounds actually. It might sound absolutely nonsense the way I have done it, but you never know. We have an overall volume here at the top. So there's your song, right? What we need to do is we need to export our song, right? So you see it right in the middle of the screen there. It says export. Awesome, you think. Hit export. Export. You can export the stems. Okay, so you can export every single stem, and it'll drop in your DAW as you wish. You can export just the MIDI. You can do enabled and live export. Okay. But I'm just going to hit export and export the audio. So export, and it's exported my song. Close. Where's it exported it? Right. This is the thing. And this is the thing that gets a few people about BeatHawk is the export isn't as clear as you want it to be. However, it actually is. You just need to know where to look for it. Exit song, you've done with it, right? You've exported the song. The song is saved. Let's go save project. It's saved as tutorial. That means it's also saved your song data as well. Everything, it's saved, absolutely everything. So if you go into a completely new track now, you will and then reload it, which we'll do at the end, and reload it, it'll come back. Yeah, you can export the MIDI, you can export the stems and the MIDI and the audio. Where is it gone? All right. We need to go, which is very strange. You think it would be there, wouldn't you? But it's not. Okay. Go to browser. Scroll down, and depending on how many of these you've actually bought, this is where it'll be. It'll be at the end of them that you have them loaded in. User library. That's what you're looking for. User library. Tap on this. Exports. There's your auto saves, your exports, and your projects. Exports. Tutorial. There it is, right? There's the wave. There's the export. Here's the thing. Double tap. Double tap is what you do. Okay, so just to be clear, user library, export, the one you want to export, and then double tap on it where it says wave, and it says iCloud export file. Tap on that. I'm going to save it in audio share, so it's called tutorial_mix, right? You can rename it anytime you like later, can't you? And you can save it in iCloud Drive, you can save it anywhere you want, but I'm just going to save it to audio share. Save. Okay? Save. Yeah, but once you look at it again, David, you'll go, right, cool, I get it. It's you know, just under user library, under exports, there's your projects, tutorial, double tap, and then it'll show you where it is. Let's go to audio share now. Audio share, and it will be in here somewhere down the bottom. It'll be called tutorial. So let me just see. There it is, tutorial, and you can see that it's just been exported at 20:36 2 minutes ago. You might not be able to see that actually. Tap it and let's play it. Yeah, man. Dude. Did we have some disruption there? That's weird. If that happens again, I would delete it and re-export it. That's fine. Anyway, don't need to listen to that again. So that's how you that's how you export it. Sorry about that, it rebooted itself. Right, so let's show you what I mean by doing this. Let's go new project. Now we've already saved it, but we can save it again just to be on the safe side. You can never save enough. Let's do this. New project. It will say unsaved changes, but you've saved them all, so don't worry. New project, good to go again from where we started at the very beginning. Yeah, but if where we started at the very beginning of the video, if we go into our little thing there and go load project and kit and go to user, so you get some factory songs. You go to user, go to projects, right? So you've got our tutorial song, another one called Dark Star. Let's load a different one. So we'll go with let's see, a live stream demo I did ages ago. You can choose just to load the kit, which is the sounds that I used in that project. So you could load it completely, start it afresh, but using the same sounds, right? So for instance, you could build up 16 pads, call it something like a sort of basic rock, basic blues, basic synth, pack it full, and then do your project, get rid of it, but still keep the kit. So you can either load the project or the kit only. So let's load the project. Here's the project for that, and let's go with, see if I made a song. So like so there's one of the loops you get all sorts of cool stuff with BeatHawk, absolutely BeatHawk, right? So, and of course with this is quite a large, so if you go to patterns here, this is quite a big a big project. So if you go to step editor there, you'll see that in pattern 1 there's not much going on, but if we go to say pattern 11 or pattern 4 or pattern 5, you can edit the MIDI for anything. You just need to select it there in pattern. So now we're editing pattern, well, we can see we're editing pattern 6. We're editing pattern 7. Not a lot going on in there. And then you can see what's going on down here and how many we've used. So it's pretty easy to navigate inside of the actual MIDI editor. And these are just MIDI editing tools. Like I said, I don't use them very often, so I'm not going to go into them now. So let's get out of there. So we've got our patterns. We can select them here, and I would imagine I've made this into a song. So if we go to song here, and it's called live stream demo because I misspelled it, live stream demo. Let's play the song. Such a cool app. There we go. So built up exactly the same way as the other one was. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, it's all in there. Like he. So you can go and actually find out what that is and where it is. Well, you'd have a job fight. Actually, where would it be? Do you think it would have? It's in here somewhere. But if you go into pitch, you've also got scale control, so you can choose any of these scales. You can set the key, so you can't play it wrong, sort of thing. You have a modulation wheel here. There's all sorts of stuff. It's very, very cool. There's tons and tons of stuff. It's vast, but it's not difficult if you understand how it works. I've always liked BeatHawk. I think it's really great. Guys, thank you so very much for joining me this evening, where we took a look at BeatHawk. I will load up a new project. Oh, by the way, just in case, look, we can just load the kit. Load. And now there's no MIDI. There is MIDI. Oh, flipping out, what's going on here? It doesn't matter. Let's not play that track again. I'm going to load project. It's because it's already loaded. I'm going to load this one called Dark Star. I'm just going to load the project and let's see what kind of patterns we've got. None whatsoever. I'm going to load another one. Oops, cancel. Going to load. I haven't got many projects in here, but load project in kit. What's this? I think this might have been the one we did at the beginning, so we'll load the project. I think there is some patterns in this, yeah. So we'll just have a mess. While you say ta-ra to each other, Jade's on at 9 o'clock, carrying on with Gidget. And I will see you guys later. Ta-ra. Thank you very, very much for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some of this useful if you wanted to dig more into gadgets. So, dig more into BeatHawk. Awesome stuff. See you guys later. Ta-ra.